In 1870, the novelist Jules Verne made an observation about our planet that still holds up. He wrote, "The globe began with the ocean, so to speak, and who knows if it will not end with it." We call our home Earth, implying a world defined by dirt and rock. But if you look closely at this satellite photograph centered on the Pacific Ocean, you see the irony. We live on a very blue planet. Humans survive on a fragmented sliver of dry land, making up just 30% of the surface. The remaining 70% is entirely claimed by water. This map shows two polar projections, the North Pole left and the South Pole right. The water spread is highly uneven. The northern hemisphere is about 60% water, but in the southern hemisphere, that number jumps to nearly 80%. Because we live entirely on that dry 30%, we tend to suffer from an illusion of separation. We forget that the air we breathe, the weather systems we rely on, and the food we eat are largely controlled by the deep blue. We divide this massive water body into 5 major oceans: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic. But those boundaries exist only for human convenience. In reality, they are a single, continuous, circulating global flow. This flowing system acts as the planet's primary engine. Most terrestrial life forms owe their existence to it, because the ocean functions as our lungs, generating the majority of the breathable atmosphere. If you want to thank something for your next breath, look at marine flora like this thick, bright green algae. Along with various seaweeds, these plants produce more than 50% of the Earth's oxygen. While it fuels life on land, this engine also supports bizarre fauna, animal life uniquely adapted to extreme aquatic conditions. Take the oarfish, a deeply alien creature navigating a high-pressure world completely detached from our own. The ocean's influence reaches far inland. The continuous movement of seawater drives continental weather patterns. In places like India, the ocean dictates the arrival of life-saving monsoons, deciding the success or failure of human agriculture. But that power cuts both ways. In December 2004, an earthquake off the coast of Indonesia triggered a massive tsunami. The ocean swept inland, devastating coastal properties and taking hundreds of thousands of lives across 13 countries. It is a continuous biological engine, providing the absolute basic requirements for terrestrial life, while holding the power to wash it away in an instant. Stepping away from the boundless water, we land on our 30%. Unlike the connected ocean, this landmass is shattered into 7 distinct, highly extreme fragments we call continents. Asia is the giant of the group. It holds 30% of the world's total land area and is home to 4.7 billion people. It is a place defined by vertical extremes, evidenced by the soaring peak of Mount Everest. Just to the west, you find the harsh, dry inland extremes of Africa, dominated by the rolling dunes of the massive Sahara Desert. North of that sits Europe, a compact landmass packed with ancient human civilizations and dense cultural history. Across the Atlantic, the Americas stretch from dense, humid jungles to towering mountain ranges. Far to the south and east, Australia exists as an isolated mix of rugged deserts and unique wildlife. And at the bottom of the globe lies Antarctica. Covered 98% in ice with no permanent population, it serves as a massive frozen laboratory. India established the Dakshin Gangotri station here to conduct scientific research in the most hostile environment on Earth. The fragmentation doesn't stop at the continental shelves. The land splinters further into millions of tiny islands, ranging from the massive ice sheet of Greenland to India's own archipelago of over 1,300 islands, like the Andaman and Nicobar. While the ocean is one united system, our land is fractured. These radically different environments have historically divided humanity, shaping isolated cultures and drawing hard political borders. Yet early humans didn't view that water as a wall. Instead, they treated it as the ultimate highway. The ocean enabled global migration, facilitated massive trade networks, and served as the staging ground for military campaigns. This oceanic connection is deeply embedded in our terrestrial culture. You can see it in the emblem of the Indian Navy, which features an anchor alongside a direct invocation to Varuna, the ancient Vedic deity of the seas. Which brings us to a terrifying mathematical reality, the blue paradox. We live on a planet covered 70% by water, that the vast majority of it is salty, making it entirely unfit for human or land animal consumption. Look at this diagram. The massive volume represents the total water on Earth. Now watch it shrink down to a microscopic dot. That dot represents the tiny fraction of accessible freshwater locked in our glaciers, rivers, lakes, and groundwater reserves. Every plant, animal, and human on land relies entirely on that tiny speck to survive. The 7 continents divide us with arbitrary borders and politics, but the single continuous ocean connects us all. Safeguarding that blue engine is the only way to ensure our 30% keeps breathing.